Welcome to Agile Scrum Mania. In today's session, we're going to learn all about the sprint review, what it is, why it matters, how it's done, and what it looks like with real-world examples. Let's get started. What is a sprint review? The sprint review is a key Scrum event that happens at the end of every sprint. It is a collaborative working session where the Scrum team and stakeholders come together to inspect the increment, that is, the working product developed during the sprint, and adapt the product backlog if needed. It is not just a demo. It's a working session focused on feedback, discussion, and alignment on what to build next. Purpose of the sprint review. The main goals of a sprint review are to inspect what was done in the sprint, to demonstrate the working product increment, to gather feedback from stakeholders, to adapt the product backlog based on that feedback, to discuss what to do next. It ensures transparency and encourages collaboration between the Scrum team and stakeholders. Who attends the sprint review? The Scrum team, including the product owner, Scrum Master, and developer stakeholders, such as customers, business owners, managers, or end users, anyone who can provide feedback or help shape the product direction. What happens during a sprint review? Let's break down a typical sprint review. The product owner opens the session by stating the sprint goal and which product backlog items were completed and which were not completed. The developers demonstrate the working product, not a slide deck, but actual, working software. The group, Scrum team and stakeholders, discuss the product, share feedback, and ask questions. The product backlog is reviewed and possibly updated based on what was learned. Everyone may discuss potential next steps or priorities for the next sprint. The session is usually 1 to 2 hours long, depending on the sprint length. Example of a sprint review: imagine you're building a healthcare appointment booking app. During the sprint review, the product owner begins by saying, "Our sprint goal was to allow patients to view available time slots and book appointments. We completed the calendar view, slot selection, and confirmation screen. The payment integration is still in progress and will be completed in the next sprint." The developers show the live application. Here's the calendar. You can now choose a slot, enter details, and confirm your booking. The confirmation screen shows appointment details and allows edits. A stakeholder says, "This looks great. Could we also send a confirmation email after booking?" The product owner replies, "That's great feedback. We'll add it to the product backlog for prioritization." Finally, the team discusses what's likely to be picked up in the next sprint and closes the meeting. This is a real example of inspecting, adapting, and collaborating, which is what sprint review is all about. Scrum Master's role in the sprint review. As a Scrum Master, your job is to ensure the sprint review takes place, help the team prepare, technically and logistically coach the team to stay focused on goals and collaboration, protect the time box and promote constructive feedback, ensure it's not a status update but a working session. Best practices for sprint reviews: always demonstrate working software, invite real stakeholders, not just internal team members, encourage open discussion and feedback, keep it interactive, not a one-way presentation, update the product backlog, live if possible, timebox the session to avoid dragging it out, end with a recap of key feedback and next steps, common mistakes to avoid turning it into a one-sided presentation, skipping the review entirely, showing incomplete or buggy features, not inviting stakeholders, avoiding feedback or critical questions, ignoring the sprint goal. Final thoughts: the sprint review is not just about showing what the team did, it's about collaborating with stakeholders, gathering feedback, and shaping the product together. Done right, it keeps the team and stakeholders aligned and focused on delivering real value. If you found this session helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Agile Scrum Mania for more simple, clear, and practical explanations of Scrum and Agile practices. Thanks for learning with us. See you in the next video.